Friends, let me introduce myself. Lawyer's the name, Robert the Lawyer. I'm a lawyer, and I have a story to tell you. Yeah, who hasn't got a story to tell? It all started 15 years ago in a boardroom. So I just got off the phone with Disney and they're dropping the charges on the suing. Well, thank goodness. Now we can continue our scheme of tricking people into buying our films, thinking they're Disney films. Well, sir. What? We need to get to work. It only takes 3 months to animate a film, and we need something released by Christmas. Now, there's a movie coming out called Mulan. Well, we should release a Christmas film. A Christmas film? What a movie? Well, I figure since Rankin Bass can do a really cheap animated film, I figure we can do the same. I already have John Goodman, Whoopi Goldberg, and Eric Idle on the line. Wait! I see it now! Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the movie. Oh yes, people will love it. It's just I can see a cover for the film now. It will star, Rudolph in the center with a cuddly polar bear. Ooh, and a fox that we will call Slyly. But sir, shouldn't we develop some characters first before we just start naming them up? And Whoopi Goldberg shall voice the villain. Oh, it's brilliant, absolutely. Oh, I love it. I could go for some chocolates right now. A villain, sir? Get the animators to work! We have a movie to make! Well, it's been a few weeks since Bat Iron Man joined me inside my cottage home. Of course, him and Ernest have not been getting along. But it's the holiday season, and I'm hoping some hot cocoa, Christmas movies, and presents will bring us together as a family. Then again, this cottage is known for turning the simplest of events into catastrophic memories.
I just realized you reviewed a movie last year.
Yeah, I did. Why? I didn't really like the review. I thought it was really bad.
You never reviewed the original.
Well, it really wasn't in my schedule.
Just review it.
Look, Bat Iron Man, the sequel was terrible. And now you want me to review the 2D animated film that's probably way worse? Even the 1964 version isn't that great. This story is so bland. Do you know that Rudolph was originally just a marketing tool? Now we have all these specials based on a marketing tool. It's all commercialization rounding up into this big marketing debacle.
Well, if you hate it so much, why don't you just go back in time to stop yourself from reviewing it?
Well, no, I at least learned from my mistakes. Plus, I was a way different critic back then.
How about this? How about you go back in time and review the movie with your younger self to close the loop?
What would that do? That would literally mean nothing. Wouldn't do anything.
It'd be cinematically entertaining.
Besides, do you have a time machine? You have a time machine.
Well, maybe.
Where are we? This is my room.
Oops, my bad. I put 1 second instead of 1 year. Here we go.
Where are we now?
Well, this is the past. And there you are, reviewing Rudolph and the Island of Misfit Toys.
Ah! Who are you? I'm you from the future. Wow, yeah. I sure changed a lot. I'm only a year older than you. I came back in a time machine to, well, review Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. The movie. No!
Hey, I'm gonna go.
Why?
Oh, well, I'm gonna go find my younger self to convince him to never talk to the evil Cinephile. Then I'll, never go down that path.
So how many subscribers do I have? Do I make it big? Did I get featured? Do I make, like, reviews every week? Do I have a good schedule? We can leave those questions to later. Anyways, right now we're supposed to apparently review this movie together. Alright then, put it in, let's start riffing. No. We watch, then we review. Why are you such a stiff? Shh, the movie's starting. Wow, well, that was something else. I think you mean terrible. Well, I guess. I mean, it wasn't as bad as the sequel, but I still wouldn't call this a bad movie. Oh, come on! Don't give this movie a chance! But hey, before we get into this, let's go into another Rudolph film. A short film directed in the 40s by Max Fleischer, who is best known for the cartoons of Superman and Betty Boop. I guess I wanted to mention this just because it seems so funny to me. It's just a classic story condensed into 8 minutes, but this time around, most of the reindeer inhabit the town rather than elves, and all the reindeer walk on 2 legs. The one that kills me is this one.
And hopscotch and leapfrog, protected by pillows.
Something about that line is just so fascinating to me. Why did the narrator feel the need to explain that they use pillows for leapfrog? What, were kids in the 40s constantly breaking their backs playing leapfrog, so they needed to address the issue? This special has some really choppy animation, and a lot of the times the voice acting sounds like it was done in an open stage rather than a soundproof room. Listen to Santa say ho ho ho.
Hi-ho!
Hi ho? What is he, one of the missing dwarves? The best part is when Rudolph is writing his letter.
I have gone to help Santa. Don't worry. Rudolph, that's me.
I guess I think it's really funny that he wrote the letter and needed to remind the audience of who he was. But to close this little review, I guess this short is okay. Just cheap, but hilarious to watch. And I guess it has that classic catchy song during the beginning credits, so that's a plus.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Are you done yet? Shut up! Shut up! Here's the review of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the movie.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
With the original classic short, there were very few characters and everything wrapped up pretty well. This isn't a story that needs to be told in 80 minutes. It can be told in, well, 8 minutes. That's how long the other short is. This movie right away begins with these characters who I guess are the Northern Lights. None of them really have a defining character, and they barely have an impact on the story. A number of characters are like that. The polar bear, the villain. The only character who actually has a character is the main character, which, thank God, because this movie is about him. And like the first one, there's a variety of voice acting done by famous actors and actresses. John Goodman, Whoopi Goldberg, Eric Idle, and Bob Newhart. And of course, none of them really bring much of a performance rather than being themselves. Why do I feel like John Goodman is in every movie? I seriously feel like that sometimes. But he of course plays Santa because you know the big guy has to play the big guy. And Bob Newhart plays a polar bear. And all he really does is play his usual Newhartian self. Nothing wrong with that, but when it's just an animated character, it doesn't match up well with the polar bear. I don't see the polar bear as a character, I just see Bob Newhart. And of course, the polar bear really has nothing to distinguish himself with, except that he's nervous, I guess. I don't know, he's not really in the movie, so Then you have Whoopi Goldberg as this ice queen, and like Bob Newhart, it's not a character, it's just Whoopi Goldberg. Why does this movie need a villain? Wasn't this movie about Rudolph's acceptance of his nose and standing out from the crowd? No, this movie wants to push in the story about facing your fears. But Whoopi Goldberg does sing a song about hating Santa Claus, which is funny enough.
And it's because I hate Santa Claus, that cheerful Santa Claus.
And that's another thing. Why is there so much music in this movie? Yeah, but the sequel had a lot of music too. Yeah, but this movie has music throughout the entire thing. This movie definitely is in the musical genre. And of course, they're all really generic, really forgettable songs.
Will never stop. Give me a sign. I'm running out of time.
Everybody's a somebody in Santa's family tree.
And you, of course, have a singing Eric Idle as a fox. And there I thought the only animated movie to have Eric Idle singing in was Secret of Nim 2, but nope, this movie somehow topped that.
Things could be better, they could always be worse. Yes, things could be better in this big universe, but remember it could always be worse.
What's even the point of all of these songs? Why not just make a straightforward movie and use the good quality resources that you have, rather than bring in a bunch of characters and don't develop them and have terrible songs? Then again, I shouldn't be talking. I bring characters into this show all the time and never develop them. Speaking of that, what happened to Bat Iron Man? But there is one song. No, come on, you liked it. No, we're not talking about that. Talk about it. It wasn't made for the movie. His mouth dropped during this scene. No!
Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time.
Well, yes. As you can hear, somehow Paul McCartney's Wonderful Christmas Time was able to be in the movie. How did this low-budget animated film produced by Good Times, freaking Good Times, able to get this song from a high-profile singer like him? I have no idea. Is that where the budget went? Then again, how do they get John Goodman and Whoopi Goldberg into this? I mean, granted, they only have like 1 or 2 lines, so obviously they paid for only a couple hours with these actors, but how? Did they trick them into contracts? Hollywood makes no sense. Maybe he was just really nice. And maybe Tony the Tiger's real.
Whoa, hey, Cinephile, what do you want? Ah!
I really gotta learn to lock the door.
Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong.
Most of the time, the lips match the words, but during this song, none of the lips match. Once! So that tells me that they put a different, unoriginal, boring song here, but once they got the rights to Paul McCartney's song, they just replaced it quick. Oh, come on, Cine, don't you ever talk like that once in a while? And maybe I'm reading too much into it, but it's not like Good Times wouldn't do that, you know, get the rights to something, then replace it quickly in the already made film. In fact, the fox and the polar bear originally had a different voice actor, but once they got Bob Newhart and Eric Idle to voice them, they just brought them in and replaced all the dialogue, just to capitalize on their names. Look at this cover, every single thing is used to capitalize this film on. Terrible! But even though they were trying tons of strategies to get tons of money, there's a couple of good moments in this film.
Somebody's crossing my bridge.
I just love how she rips that mask off, showing how important it is to her to wake up instantly. In fact, the scene between the fox and the Ice Queen is probably the funniest scene in the movie. It's of the fox trying to get the key to free Rudolph and the gang from the jail cells.
What are you doing? Stealing the key to the dungeon. Now go back to sleep. Oh, alright. Toodles.
Even though I've complained about the pointless villain, there's this scene where she becomes the good guy, which, yeah, spoiler alert, she becomes the good guy, but there's this subtle moment about who you are deep down inside, and how it doesn't matter what you look like on the outside. And isn't that what the movie's about?
But you don't look any different.
But I have changed, Rudolph.
On the inside.
Oh, come on, that wink wasn't subtle. It's kind of subtle. Actually, a big thing I like about this movie is, well, the relationship between Rudolph and, well, Zoe, this movie's version of Clarice. Even though the romance isn't shown in much detail, they do show how much Rudolph cares for Zoe. And even though this movie is for kids, they do show Zoe being in a bad relationship with another deer who doesn't treat her well. And Rudolph lets him know it.
Hey, she's my doe, understand? She's not a trophy and you shouldn't treat her like one.
I don't know, I might be the weird one, but I think that's a good moral about sticking up for people who are your friends and then treating your significant other with respect. Oh, okay, Mr. Relationship Man. Tell me, when was your last date? Well, you know, that's kind of your fault too. Oh yeah. Oh, so the Northern Lights did have a purpose. Great. About as much purpose as Tony the Tiger having a cameo in this episode.
Hey guys!
I don't think he likes this movie. Nah, it might be my room. I gotta get a new one. Oh, don't worry about that. Next episode, you get a way better room.
Noses are not supposed to glow.
He's beautiful, not odd. And perfect the way he is.
You're absolutely right.
Well, geez, that father was turned easily. What, if I told him something as commonly known as Pearl Harbor didn't really happen, he'd believe me? If there's one thing this movie does that no other version of Rudolph has done, it gives an explanation of reindeer games. Like they're literally games. Like Olympic games. You're right, I kind of like that too. It made a lot of sense, plus it gave us a chance to see a bunch of elves and reindeer go flying all over the place in a Ben-Hur style race. Oh, Ben-Hur. The Good Times version. You seriously wasted our money on that? Well, this movie does keep true to the Rudolph story, and it does include new things, but these things aren't always fully developed, which can make the film kind of boring at times. While I do like Eric Idle's portrayal of the fox, no matter how one-dimensional the character is, I can't defend any of the other famous voice actors. They all give pretty dull performances. Performances that the movie is trying to capitalize on. Adding these characters brought nothing to the story, and the songs are on the same boat. And the animation is bad, but it's nothing that is overly annoying. We already have the mediocre Rankin Bass special, and if they really wanted to one-up it, they should have made the movie shorter. They should have put better songs or no songs in it, and they should have improved story qualities. But as is, I can kind of see why a lot of people like it. It became a cherished piece of their childhood, unlike other Good Times films, which were mistaken for Disney films and then adults bought and a ton of children's minds got warped. But, you know, this movie is just okay. Don't think there's anything too bad in it or scarring children or anything that's gonna defeat humanity. It's just okay. This movie's not as bad as its supposed sequel, even though this one's still capitalizing on things. The other one literally capitalizes on the Rankin Bass special by having the Rankin Bass characters in it. At least this movie had the song I Hate Santa Claus. I want to hear that on the radio someday.
Alright, Cinephile, we have to go.
Where have you been?
Oh, I was, grocery shopping. I ate the groceries.
Where's the receipt?
I ate that too. Let's go. We gotta get going.
It's a time machine. We have all the time we want.
Shut up.
Fine. See ya, Cinephile. Goodbye. I might get started on the Daddy Daycare review now. Then maybe get into a new room. Oh yeah. Good luck with that. How many reviews have I done? Jeez, I have so many ideas and I want to do them like right away, like a ton of reviews, like weekly. Yeah, there's definitely no chance that you're gonna quit for a while, then return a couple months later. What? Nothing, just nothing. See ya. So if your air conditioner is on the fritz or your washing machine blows up, or your video recorder conks out, before you call the repairman, turn on all the lights, check all the closets and cupboards, and look under all the beds, cause you can never tell. There just might be a Good Times movie in your house. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Movie wasn't really bad at all. Had really pointless characters, none who are developed at all. Although the TV special is an American treasure, that doesn't excuse this film's songs that bring no pleasure. I guess there is that one song about hating Santa Claus. It was sang by Whoopi Goldberg. She deserves a round of applause. So hopefully I'm done with Rudolph. I'm not reviewing any more of him. Not the New Year one or the one with Frosty. I'd rather break my own 2 shins